Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 20 of Feel Good Songs for Spring. This is the show we're doing each and every day throughout the month of April. Songs that make us feel good, that it's springtime, that the weather's getting warmer, the grass is turning green, leaves on the trees, birds are singing, leaving winter behind for a bit, and getting ready to listen to some songs that either have something to do with springtime, Mother Nature, going out into the world, or maybe just songs that remind us of, good times when we were younger, being outside as a kid or whatever. Just songs that you listen to when the weather gets warmer that make you feel all good inside. Whatever the genre might be, doesn't really matter, right? Could be anything. Today, I've got a song that I absolutely adore. I actually really like this album quite a bit, and this is a total kind of feel good album for me, and it brings me back to the late 80s when I could already tell that the musical landscape was changing. A lot of the metal bands that I was listening to starting to not sell as many records as they used to. All of a sudden, you got all these sounds coming out of Seattle. A lot of the hard rock and metal groups are starting to, a year or two later, starting to change their sound a little bit, going back into the underground. Around this time, I really discovered jazz. And I always liked instrumental music, but I started to get into it even more. And this particular album, I remember, I started listening to a New York City jazz radio station. And they played this song and lots of cuts from this album a ton back in 1989, 1990. The artist, or the band, is the Pat Metheny Group. Letter from Home is the album, and Have You Heard is the song. What a melody, what a hook. This is, I always liked the Pat Metheny Group. I love Pat Metheny solo as well. He always, especially with the Pat Metheny Group, always kind of reinventing themselves. And while, some of the players may come and go, there was always this kind of earthiness, this whole kind of feel-good quality. I know that kind of fits in with the theme here, but that's, many of you who have been watching me for a while have heard me say over and over, especially early on in COVID, so the first half of 2020 when COVID first hit and we're all isolating and you're not seeing anybody and you're sitting at home 24/7. And I listened to a ton of Pat Metheny Group music and albums during that first year of COVID. Big time. I mean, that was, to me, Pat Metheny was my kind of go-to artist during the initial phase of the pandemic. And it was just something, there was this feel-good quality about his music that I still get to this day. And I've always liked Pat, but I think I really got his music during this time. And this is one of those albums. I mean, there are probably other albums I gravitate towards when I talk about my absolute favorite Pat Metheny or Pat Metheny Group albums, but this one's pretty up there. And, there's lots. This is, I think, one of the reasons why this album did so well for him and the band. It's they call this kind of crossover jazz, right? So it's jazz, it's kind of fusion, but it has a lot of pop elements. There's the whole Brazilian thing going on here. It's just real breezy, feel good, uplifting music with amazing virtuoso arrangements. You got Pat on acoustic and electric guitars. He's playing also the synclavier, guitar synthesizer. You got Lyle Mays on guitar, organ, accordion, trumpet, and synclavier. Steve Rodby on acoustic and electric bass. Paul Huertico on drums and percussion. The wonderful Pedro Aznar on vocals and guitar, marimba, sax, and all sorts of other things. And Armando Marcal on percussion. So, this particular song, Have You Heard, kicks off the album, and it just sets the tone for the entire record. And like I said, it's got these breezy melodies, got the little vocalizations going, and the vocals are used really good in this song because they're not actually, Pedro is not actually singing lyrics. He's basically just kind of humming and vocalizing the melodies just like the guitar and the keyboards and everything else would do. And it just I love it. I could listen to this song over and over and over again. And then Pat goes off into this like almost 3 minute, like really melodic, snaking, spiraling guitar solo. That's got these fast runs and all these just great passages, and just amazing stuff. You got the keyboards in the background. Lyle Mace is doing all these kind of stuff, these things that kind of sound like horns at times. Just a great song. And just, I remember like it was yesterday, hearing this track on the radio all the time and just being mesmerized. I know like from this album, Slip Away was kind of the song that got most of the acclaim from this record. But for me, Have You Heard was always the one that really, really spoke to me the most and the strongest. I mean, this album in 1989, #1 Billboard Jazz Album Chart, number 43 Billboard Black Albums, number 50 Billboard Pop Albums, won a Grammy for Best Jazz Fusion Performance. I mean, these are awards and charts and things that you don't normally see an album like this appear on. So pretty good, pretty cool, and I love it. So that is my particular song for today. Have You Heard, from the Pat Metheny Group, from Letter From Home 1989. Let us know what you think about this track as well as your pick for today, Day 20. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Play it, Pat. See you tomorrow with another one. Take care. Bye-bye.